Hi, it's Dorothy Garney with Scrapbooking Quebec, and today I'm here for Punched Out Thursday. That's a YouTube collaboration where a few crafty YouTubers share ideas every Thursday on what to do with all those punches, collecting dust in so many scrap rooms. I'm going to put links to Ronnie's, Krista's, and Kathy's channels below, so be sure to check them out. They are very, very creative. I'm going to be doing a layout process video today, and I'm going to be showing you how to step up an easy page design by adding texture with punches. I'm also going to show you an alternative way to use punches. This is a stash bust. I have Heidi Swap paper, Amy Tangerine, Stampin' Up, as well as a whole bunch of tools, and some of these I haven't touched in a long time. I did some preparation in advance. I selected the paper, matted my photos. I also prepared this frame style foundation. I gutted the back of it, and I actually used that black paper to mat my photos. I also cut that white paper with the black polka dots. That's going to be the beginning of a layered photo mat. But now I'm going to talk a bit about the tools I selected. Now in January, I decided the layouts I did for this collaboration, I would start them with border punches, simply because I have a whole bunch of them and I never use them. So these are the three that I selected from the Creative Memories Border Maker system. And the other two videos I did this month, I will link them up in the comments below in case you're interested. Here are the other punches I selected. I have a cat punch, a label punch, as well as that banner punch, and there's another one tucked in under there. And these punches I'm about to show you are ones that are just on my desk all the time. A tag punch, small circle punches, a heart punch, as well as that hole punch. The video is about to speed up, and what I'm going to do is start layering up that photo mat. So I'm going to start by cutting two identical borders with the Creative Memories Border Maker system. So I cut two of them, and then I'm going to trim them down at about 1 1/4 inch. I just need them to be big enough so that I can slip them underneath that white polka dotted paper. That's going to be the base of my layered photo mat. After that, I cut down 2 narrow strips of that white and black striped paper. And then what I'm going to do is adhere them, 2 of them to the top and 2 of them to the bottom of that white polka dotted paper. Once I do that, I'm going to trim it down. I want that layered photo mat to basically go on top of that white cardstock and just arrive where that black frame begins, basically at 11.5 inches wide. From here on in, you're going to notice all measurements for photos and page parts are on the screen. I end up cutting mine down a little bit too much, and you'll see later on I managed to fix it. I'm placing the photos here, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut myself a few more borders. So this one here is a notebook border punch. That's my favorite one as part of this system. And I just cut this down a bit. That's part of a 6x6 old paper pad from Stampin' Up. And then what I'm going to do is cut myself another border. And this one is with the paw print cartridge. This one, however, I'm going to use it as a tool. I'm not going to use it as a border. You're going to see that a little bit later on. What I'm going to do now is adhere my photos. So one to the extreme left, one to the extreme right, and then one in the middle. And then I'm going to tuck those notebook borders in the layered border at the top and the bottom of this layered photo mat. I want you to take note where I'm placing them, because the layers where I'm placing them at the top differ than the layers where I'm placing them at the bottom. And this is a fun way to add texture to a page, and I'll get back to that later because I add more stuff to those layers. What you see me doing now is using that border, that paw print border, as a stencil. I'm holding it in place with washi tape. Number one, to hold it in place, but number two, if you'll notice on the left, the paws are quite close to the edge, and I don't want to put ink. I don't want to blotch ink on the white page. I only want to ink up paw prints. So I do that in a few spots at the top right and the bottom left. And basically that's going to be the base to an embellishment cluster in the top right and the top left. And you can do that with any of your punches. Basically use the negative as a stencil. It's a really fun way to use your punches. Now I'm adhering this layered photo mat to my page, and then what I'm going to do is find a room for my title as well as my text. So what you see me doing here actually is correcting my mistake. That layered photo mat wasn't quite wide enough, and I could see a little bit of white on the right and a little bit of white on the left. But fortunately, my photo mats were black, so all I did was move them over a bit. That's my title I cut out in advance, and I used the Alt New Tall Alpha die set. It's my latest favorite die set. And now what you see me doing is cutting out 2 tags, and that's going to be basically where my journaling goes and a little bit of decorations. I'm making reinforcers for these tags. I'm doing this with a hole punch and a 1/2 inch circle punch, and then I'm just going to adhere it around the hole in the tag. And that's going to be kind of layered up on the bottom left. But then I'm going to go back and adhere my title to the top right of the page. And like I said, I used those dies from Alt New. I absolutely love them. And my title is Duke Sploots. Well, Duke is the name of the cat, and sploot is basically, I didn't know this, it's a way of laying down. Duke lays down on the ground, belly flat, with all 4 legs stretched out, and it's really funny. I've had cats all my life, and I've never ever seen that. So that's the title of my page. And now what I'm doing is adhering those tags to the bottom. Now I cut myself out a cat with the cat punch, so that's perfect. And I'm also making myself a few bows with that twine from Lawn Fawn, and I'm simply adhering it with glue dots. And later on, I'll do my journaling. You'll see that in the stills at the end. And now what you see me doing is tucking more stuff in those layers at the top and the bottom. Again, in different layers, different spots within those layers. A great way of adding texture. Now I'm using that label punch, and basically I cut it in half, and it makes a great tab. Those punches I hadn't touched in years, and suddenly they have a rebirth in my scrap room. They are really, really nice, especially when you cut them in half. They make these great tabs. I absolutely love them. And I used that banner punch, another one I hadn't touched in years, and I'm putting them just along the bottom, and I'm going to write the word meow through that. You'll see that a little bit later. So what I'm going to do now actually is do some stamping. So I have that stamp set. It's called Pick a Pennant by Stampin Up. There's small alphas in there. And that's a roller stamp by Vicky Booten, and it says love it. So I stamped that. And for those small alphas, I put them all on one block. They're kind of scattered everywhere, but I'm going to take a circle punch and punch them out. So I'm starting with the white circle punch, which is 3/8 of an inch, super, super tiny. I love that punch though. And then I'm going to punch out black circles in 1/2 inch, and that's basically going to be a mat for those little white circles. That's another punch I use frequently. It's like a word window. It's just a narrow rectangle, and it's perfect for punching out little words. I just trimmed the edge, so I'm putting that on the tab at the top of the page. I really, really like that. And now what I'm doing is simply adhering the white circle on top of the black circle, and then I will adhere that word to the banner. I'm going to use a bit of foam adhesive here, which I really don't want to be using in 2020 because my albums were way too puffy last year, and it was one of my 2020 resolutions, but I'm cheating here. Anyway, I'm okay with that. So the word meow is there. And basically what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to do some faux stitching on the page. I'm going to do it above that banner. I'm going to do it just beneath that tab at the top of the page, and also another line just beneath that notebook border at the top of the page as well. And what you're going to see me get out is a template, an old template by Stampin Up. It's basically a template with little holes, and I have a paper piercing tool, and I'm poking holes along where I want to do my faux stitching, and then I'm going to join the holes together with a marker. Now, actually, I recently lost this, and I recently found it, so I'm quite happy about it. But I guess what I want to say is that you can do this if you don't have the template. All you have to do is draw a line with a pencil and a ruler, poke holes with a paper piercing tool, just try to make them evenly spaced, and then join the holes together with a pen. I did it quite a bit when I lost my tool. Anyway, that's basically it. I am finished. All I have left to do is my writing, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to Scrapbooking Quebec if you haven't already. And also, don't forget to check out the other ladies who are participating in this collaboration. Their links are listed below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.